Good evening. I'm going to come on here and just kind of say something real quick. There's a lot of people that I've walked away from for one reason or another, and the reasons aren't important. There's been a lot of situations that I've walked away from for one reason or another, not important, but the fact is that I've done it. I've been on this journey for a very long time, and I've been discovering a lot of things about the people that I thought I knew. Friends, family, coworkers, people that I had love for. You know, it seems that these people are under the assumption or under the presumption that I will give in to their demands and give in to their manipulation and their gaslit intentions and all this other stuff. But that's why I'm not talking to them anymore. That's why I'm not associated with that, because that's my old life. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, there comes a time in everybody's life to where you have to realize what's really important to you and what your priorities are. Do you want to stay stuck in old situations, relationships, friendships, jobs, for instance, and not feel like it's going anywhere and nothing is happening out of it? Or do you want to move forward and do something different, or change it up a notch, or just you just really start understanding what really is and will forever be going forward important to you. And I know a lot of people are starting to find this out, because I'm kind of starting to see it as I'm out and about and so forth too. People are starting to wake up to the concept of, just because I've been your friend for 20 years doesn't mean that you'll be my friend for the next 20 years. I remember back to a very old Oprah situation or episode where she talked about, just because you're family doesn't mean you don't break up. And it's very true. Because if your family are a bunch of folks that there's always turmoil and there's always chaos and nobody can communicate and nobody can be in the same room together without there being nothing but dishonorable conduct, well, then you know. And you really have to understand that you don't have to stay in those situations. You don't. You just make a conscientious objective in yourself to walk away. I'm not saying be angry. I'm not saying be hurt. I'm not saying, want to have validation or any other stuff. But it's just knowing when to walk away. And that does include like someone you just broke up with. Right? I mean, don't go play games with them. And don't go give them the presumption or the indication of maybe you might come back, or maybe there might be some resolution to where you will come back to the situation again. Because obviously, if you left for a reason. You didn't leave to get them to get a new mindset and then come back together. No, that's just manipulation, right? You're trying to show them a lesson. You're trying to help them grow and mature, and then maybe you'll come back together. But those situations are never fulfilling. It just means that there's control issues. It just means there's manipulation issues. It just means that one or both of you are possibly narcissists, right? Where you got to control the other one. But that's not how this works. Or at least from everything that I've seen and come to understand in these last better part of a decade that I've been on this journey, looking at things, discovering things, seeing things for what they are, having an ego death, just looking at everything from my world, from what I thought it was, everything from my life of who I thought I was versus who I truly am. And the sad reality is here it is, years later, after realizing all of this, and after going through all of this stuff, and after like doing all this meditation and doing all this praying and doing all this self-discovery, the things that I'm realizing that I was involved with, the things that I realized that I was doing in my own life are not in my highest good. I was in friendships that just absolutely didn't benefit me at all. I had habits that were just absolutely toxic to the core. I was working jobs and having colleagues in that situation that we just didn't resonate. And of course, I knew it once I was working those jobs. That's why I left those jobs. Family. Like, I started realizing that not even my family and I resonated with it. And I've known this my whole life. We just never seemed to get along. We just never seemed to see eye to eye. We just never seemed to fit together. There's a reason for it. There's always a reason for that. It's about knowing the truth. It's about identifying the truth. And it's about knowing maybe it's time to just walk away. Go do your own thing. But the only person that can make those decisions is you. Because I did. And I'm a lot happier for doing it. See, there's a lot of things from my life that not many people know. And that's for good reason. It's because if you're that important to me, I will tell you and I will share those things with you. But if for whatever reason my soul doesn't identify you as somebody who you have the clearance, if you will, to know that, I won't tell you. It doesn't mean that I don't like you. It doesn't mean I don't care about you. It just means, for whatever reason, that's not in your clearance to know. But yes, I will love anybody and everybody that comes into my space, and I will give you at least enough level of respect and all that good stuff to get you going. But now it's a matter of, after I give you that little bit, do you help it grow? Or do you not? I've come to a lot of very, very in-depth realizations over these last probably 10 years. And it has been one that I'll never forget. It's been a journey that I will never forget. Because it helped me grow in so many different ways, shapes, and forms that I will never be grateful enough to the good Lord above. But anyways, just something to think about. I know hopefully this will help somebody. If it does, hey, let me know. I love you guys. We'll talk soon. Until then, have a good night.